This is my review of Chapter 71 of Bleach manga. Um, I'm starting, I believe, Volume 9. So the cover of that volume is of Guy and Shiba. That's a pretty cool picture. She's smoking and has like this weird wrapped up thing that's like in the shape of a ball on like a stick that's also in her mouth along with her cigarette. And her bisected arm is like in the foreground, kind of coming toward the screen, and then it has her short blade on it. And then to the left is a little blurb that Kubo left about his stereo stopped working. He's thinking about buying a new one, but he's not going to because he still likes his stereo. And then there's a little tiny panel of Gain Shiba's shoulder. And there's a blurb about dreams. Uh, Then there's some really cool panels that are like really well detailed. Kubo clearly put a lot of work into these. I think it looks flawless. The Soul Society is on alert because they've noticed a distortion. Renji freaks out, and then we get like a giant two-page cover of Ichigo, Orihime, Chad, and Uryu. It looks amazing. Chad has an eye patch on for some reason. Renji and I think it's Hanataro. They have a little corner picture, and Renji's saying he needs Zabimaru, and Hanataro's running off to get it. Ichigo, Uryu, Orihime, and Chad are running through the Dawn Guy, and it begins kind of collapsing. The walls are closing in like that. Uryu's looking back and noting that it's coming near them. Yoruichi warns Uryu to not look back and just focus on running. They dodge something, and then the wall like grabs Uryu by his cape and starts pulling him back. Ichigo pulls out Zangetsu to try to cut him free, but then Yoruichi warns him that he'll also be entangled because the walls eat Reishi. And then Chad arrives and he tears the cape and picks up Uryu and begins running with him. Uryu tells Chad to put him down. He can run on his own, but then he sees something, and then a light begins approaching, and Yoruichi looks back to see it. Then there's a massive blob with a light that begins coming down the path toward them. Yoruichi says it is a kotetsu, and it only appears once every 7 days. And he's shocked that it picked right now of all times to come through. They begin reaching the exit, but as they're about to get to it, the kotetsu's closing in on them. And so Orihime uses Shun Rika to reject it, and they end up flying out of the doorway. They land on Shun Rika, which is weird because initially you would think it would have been devoured, but also that means it had time to come through the portal, get ahead of them, and then reform the shield again. Yoruichi says that they're lucky that it only touched the shield because if it had touched Shun Rika itself, then it and Orihime would have been devoured. It's a bit contrived. They land in the middle of a village. Yoruichi explains that they are in the Rukangai, which is a poor district outside of the Seirete, where the Shinigami reside. Ichigo sees a more upscale area and he runs toward it, but Yoruichi warns him that he'll die. And then something starts falling toward him, and then we see that it's a wall, and this massive wall that falls in segments begins forming. And then a man says it's been a long time since someone tried to get through the Siremon. And then a massive man greets Ichigo. And that's where the chapter ends. And then we see Hinataro in the corner returning to Ichigo with his blade, but it's dirty because Hinataro is using it to cut pickles. It's a eventful chapter. A lot of world building and stuff. It's obviously contrived that Shun Shinrika didn't get eaten. It's also contrived that Uryu could be grabbed. Ichigo had time to stop, and then Chad had time to turn around, run, grab him, tear him free, and then keep going. When before it was like, oh god, the walls are closing in on us. So I was like, it's contrived. But it's still cool. I mean, the Dawn guys, a cool idea for an area. And really, that's really what this chapter was. Just leads you in, and then you get your first look at the Soul Society, which I'd have more to talk about. It looks like feudal Japan, but I don't need to because we've already seen it in the anime, so yeah. It looks like feudal Japan, and that's the main theme of it.